Thank you. That crash creating some conversations about how rescue personnel respond to air disasters in our area.
Emergency personnel in local airports have plans in place if such a tragic event were to ever occur here. Samantha Cavalli continues tonight's team coverage with how one fire department prepares and trains its members for such a tragedy.
The airplane and helicopter that collided with each other landed in a body of water. The Oshkosh Fire Department says that they are prepared for any and all types of situations. When it comes to responding to air disasters, Division Chief Tim Hyman says it's all hands on deck. Oshkosh is home to AirVenture, the largest air show in the world. Hyman says an extra 20 to 30 people are staffed on the aircraft rescue and firefighting trucks throughout the week. As part of training for the event, Hyman says they will send firefighters to Fox Valley Technical College to do live fire training in cooperation with the Appleton International Airport. It's there they will familiarize themselves with equipment from the ARF vehicles, as well as the different types of aircraft they could encounter. He says a mid-air collision, like the one that occurred in Washington, D.C., creates more challenges as first responders have to locate two different accident scenes. He says you have to be prepared for anything.
A plane can land or crash pretty much anywhere, so we've been out in our farm fields, we've been in swampy areas, we've been in parking lots of industrial complexes, so really we have to have the ability to get anywhere where the plane is.
Hyman says the fire department has already begun preparations for this year's air show and training remains ongoing. Reporting in Oshkosh, Samantha Cavalli, Action 2 News.